in Canada. In the last 3 weeks, we visited five. I had a chance to visit Grace, 5 cities and watch the devotees of Satisai Baba in many of these cities devote their lives for the purposes of the mission of Satisai. Many nice, good experiences, very wonderful trip. In different parts of the world, how everyone is devoting their time and energy towards this. In many places in Canada, you have huge centers, the centers are big and large centers. There's one center in York Center, they call it. It's very, very large, very, very big, extremely established rooms for classes, EHV classes. There's a little clinic inside that particular center, and the hall is huge and big. In Edmonton, they have a theater, which is converted to a center, a theater, movie theater. It's converted to a center. And the hall, such halls are big and large centers. So very nice to see those big establishments in those places. And we had rounds of Psi 100 meetings and Psi 100 discussions and workshops. So it was very nice to see the commitment and devotion of all the devotees in these areas. Yeah. So okay, so let's anybody wants to make any comment from the last session, which I was not here, but anyone wants to say any comments? Okay, if none, then we today
Suresh, I was thinking you've been trying for 2 weeks. I'm sure there's 1, 2 things that are very interesting you can share with us, something that spiritual might like to hear or heard about it.
Yeah. Yes, there is. In one place, in Montreal, in Toronto, in one place, Cooksville, there's one center. So they invited me for a talk there. So when I went there at 6 o'clock, all the committee members came lining up in one line, and they introduced me to each one person like that. Then they came to the bhajan, devotional coordinator. This lady is supposed to organize bhajans, meditation workshops, study circle and all that. So I asked her, "Oh, you look very young. How old are you?" You won't believe this. She's 19 years old. 19 years old. So I quickly asked her to write an article. And so next month, I think the Eternal Companion, you'll see the youngest devotional coordinator in the world, 19 years old. And I asked her how she is studying. She's very good. She's doing, and she's also managing the bhajans, taking down the names, seeing person who sings, and then prepare the slides, and then do the studies. Help to coordinate the study circle and all that. So it was very interesting and inspiring thing to see such a young person take such a heavy, serious responsibility. But more importantly, I asked, the chairman must have told that the session is only starting at 7:30, but they're told to come at 6 o'clock because they wanted to have a satsang between 6 and 7:30 with me, have a whole dinner, you see. So I said, how is it possible that at 6 sharp, all of you, all the 10 leaders are standing there? It's not possible. I said, the chairman must have told you to come, but you can say easily a traffic jam, you can say many excuses you can give, but all of you, like military parade knows, all of you are sharp 10 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you're already there. And then when we went up there, I saw the one kind of amazing fraternity. There was a good coordination and very good fraternity among themselves. Interestingly enough, every position, two people sit in one position. For example, Seva coordinator, there are 2 people for Seva coordinator, 2 people for bhajan coordinator, 2 people for education coordinator, 2 people. Every position has got two people officially, and this is something I said normally back home you have 1, but you have 2. And they said because 2 means it's easier if one not there, the other person responsibility to take over like that. third point I noticed also was that that group, the teamwork, like the fellowship was very, very strong. Fellowship was amazingly, extremely good. So I've noted a few points of Cooksville Center because it reminds us of some centers in Malaysia also, which reflects that, And interestingly enough, that center which has high levels of fraternity and family, very few people drift to go elsewhere. They remain intact within the organization, which was another very good notable point to note. Only thing is that we were saying that they had Baba's birthday celebrations and all that. But one point I mentioned was we need to expand. The thing is, they need to see the idea of interacting with outside people, interacting that otherwise it'll be just like a group of club members inside, you see. So the more and more we interact with others in the outside organization, then they will have a better perception of what Sai movement is all about. So that was good, very nice, good meters, good points to learn from other places as well. I had a chance to visit their school, Satisai School of Canada, which is a huge school also. They have 180 students under Group 8. One of our Malaysian brothers, Brother Ram, who was in SS3, I saw him there in the Sai school. He's working there, So I was very happy to see and be caught up. But that school is now next year is celebrating 25th anniversary, and 7 years in consecutively that school won the best standard in the whole of Canada, and one of the best standard schools in the whole of Canada. And so you are asking how did they achieve those kind of things, in that school. So this was also something very positive. Something very positive that in the school that showed. And that school is designed in such a way that the classrooms are very, very big classrooms. So the classes are held in the front of the class, and then they have a back space where the children can go and play within the classroom itself. So very nice classes that they design. And they have very good teacher interactions, which is teacher and student interactions and so on. We had a discussion about the 25th anniversary of the school, and so vision of the school. So I told them that in chapter 3 of Satyam Shivam Sundaram volume 6, Bhagwan gave a talk to the institute. What is his expectation? In his speech, he mentioned that merely getting a degree, going through the examination are mere processes, but the real end result is the understanding and the awareness of the Atma, which is what every student must be. And he had a vision for the institutions and schools. So I remembered that particular passage, and I told them that the purpose of a school is not just to educate just this group of students. So after 25 years, what is the impact the school is making to the consciousness of the education in the country, and how whether teachers themselves are inspired to come to the school and learn from us, you see. So first 25 years maybe for the establishment and all that, but the next 25 years, it has to be a higher definition and higher description of where the process should go. So you should really sit down and strategize that and all that. So we had a lot of discussion on those aspects of it, which the headmaster, which is a newly appointed headmaster, was very happy to take that forward. Canada is one country, nowhere else in the world. Canada is one country where 100 city mayors proclaimed the 24th April, Swami's Mahasamadhi Day, 24th April as Human Values Day. So they have a city proclamation, And so they showed the framed pictures of the proclamation of the mayors, 100 cities. But they have been doing that, but last 2 years, after the COVID, it a little bit died down. So now after this trip, they're reviving back that 100 city proclamation. And we are hoping that the 100 city proclamation kind of approach is going to be taken by other cities around the world. so that more and more cities come in. Their mayor, their Senate in Parliament passed a bill, to proclaim 24th as Human Value Day. So then we discussed at great length, what is the Human Value Day? So just Walk for Values is one way of expressing human values, but schools to have that, and more institutions should spend in the beginning, like corporates should spend half an hour in a meeting to discuss about human values. So we had some discussions on that to really reinforce what proclamation really means and how to take it more pervasively. So that was really a good thing. So this year they're going to restart back that whole exercise on proclaiming city proclamation for City Day. So that was some good outcome that came by. In other towns, in other places, when we had the Sai 100, this time in Canada, they're going ahead with organizing. The whole thing is organized for landmark celebration. So these landmark celebrations are supposed to be public meeting, huge, big public meeting, inviting the members of the public to celebrate Swami's birthday. So they're having that. Originally, we wanted to have it only in one place, but now their discussion went to seeing that every city should actually be conducting this particular celebration. So these are all good thoughts and good ideas. Sankalpa must be there. Vision must be there. That means we must have the bigger vision, bigger mission, and bigger ideas on how to spread Bhagwan's message. Before I went to Canada, the first week when I went, I was in Chicago, USA. They invited me for this international retreat. Chicago Labor Day retreat. Well, 350 people came for that function, for that retreat for 3 days. I was a speaker for that. But this time what I did was, since we've been having this Prema Vahini satsangs with the Chicago devotees for the last 4 years. So before I went, we did an online training program for the facilitators themselves with the fixed questions. So in our session now, I only spoke for 45 minutes. And after that, the facilitators had the respective workshops for all the 300 people. So we had in-depth sessions. That means with 45 minutes of discussion, in-depth workshop session. And then from the workshop session, we pulled back the questions back again and came back to the forum so that we can have devotees asking those questions. The whole idea is to integrate and deepen the knowledge. So like this, we went around 2 or 3 rounds of that discussion where facilitators in study circle facilitators became facilitators for the workshop in the retreat, which is the first time they are doing something like this, which gave them confidence. The whole idea is not about, keep on talking and keep on listening. The idea is that more and more people should become empowered with Swami's knowledge, and more people should be able to know how to facilitate workshops so that we can have more competent people in the future to do this type of session. Many of these guys were young adults as well. So this is also another way of incorporating the young adults within. So like that, many new ideas, new experiments, and new experiences were forged and fostered in this last 3 weeks, which was, I think, quite successfully carried out. And now the ladies program, I've spoken to Dr. Malar when I came back. Now all Canada ladies, they're going to have the Ladies Light program is going to be instituted as of 3rd November nationwide. All the Canada ladies wanted to do that because I went to the ladies. I saw big when the EHV program was going, all the ladies were cooking. So I went to the kitchen. So I asked them, what normally you do? He said, we always only cook. We do the cooking and we support other wings. So don't you have any specific programs for yourself? And they said they didn't have. So I said, in Malaysia, we have this light program, which we used to do for the ladies. So they said, we are very, very interested. We want to do this. So now from 3rd November, we'll be doing an online training program for the light program. Latin America, the teenage pregnancy is now getting to be very high. So I told them we have the Teenage Pregnancy Prevention Program, which is the VIP program. So about 20 Latin American countries now want to be trained for this program as well. So that will go on from next week onwards. We're starting that program for them. And in Canada and USA, you have big billboards called cannabis. Cannabis is drugs, So you see the cannabis in big billboards. And I can't imagine, so so people you can have it, you can buy it across the counter. So students can buy, children can buy. It's just, you can buy it across the counter like that, cannabis. So now the counselor, we had a session with the young adults, many sessions we had with young adults. So I said, listen, guys, coming to the center, having bhajan, study circle, all very good, but you need to be relevant. So now big issue, drug issues, drugs are available. So more and more important for you to empower people to discriminate. So now they have launched this DARTS program, which we have. So we're going to do the online training program for DARTS in Canada. Hopefully more and more young people will be reinforced. So these are the things. The whole idea of spirituality is, other than knowledge of spirituality and all, the key thing is we have to be relevant to a social need. Bhagavan said, your spirituality must have consequential benefit to humanity and society, Baba said. Consequential benefit to humanity and society. So this is what, these are the positive things that came out as a result of this 3 weeks trip. Yeah. Saira. Is that okay, James?
Saram. Okay. Now, the topic last week was...
So how many centers are there with SSSI?
Well, actually, to be honest, there are some. There were some of the big breakaways. Some of the big centers, like Scarborough Center, they have got 40%, 50% members are with GC, and another 50%. So that center remained not breaking up. They just remained as that and remained as neutral. So when I gave my talk in York Center, the other devotees came to that center to listen to. You see, so like that, they have got many, but the effect is they have already settled. That is, those who want to go that way, they have gone that side, and those who are with us are remaining with us. So I think it's about 30% would be the other side, and 70% is with us.
That's all, because the wrong information.
Yeah,
it was opposite way it was sent. So it's good that we got the correct figure.
Yeah, and also I told them in public lecture. I said to them, guys, let me be very clear with you, okay? Because I saw one or two of these guys talking, disturbing the Sangha. So I said, you have every right. If you want to go to the other side, please go. Just go. And be happy there, stay loyal to there, do your duty, do your work, stay. But don't come and break congregation, influencing people, dividing the people, because this is not a political group. So don't lower your consciousness to a level of such a low level. Don't do that. Want to go, you go, and be there and stay there and do all that. So, and I remember the Buddhist scriptural sins. One of the worst sins, unredeemable sin, is to break a Sangha. So don't break this Sangha, but go and do your work. I told them very clearly. I did not mince my words. I was very clear in what I'm saying, and I said that with great clarity and very great confidence. Yeah. And also, if you notice, we are not going to the other side and asking you all to come. We didn't do that. But the most, I also told them that heaven is not reserved for those who are with SSIO or with GC, because there's no board there in the heaven that says, oh, GC members or what SSIO members, not like that. But if wherever you are associated with, dedicate, your illumination of your soul is determined by how much I and my is produced, how much work you're dedicating to God, and what is the purity, chitta shuddhi that you're establishing. That is how you're judged in the other side of the world. You see? That's it. Simple like that. And that's exactly what we are all doing in this satsang. Yeah.
So it's good that at least we are clear. I think I had a talk with some countries, and I told them that people are disturbing in this. I said, if the people are disturbing, tell them that if they want to go, please go.
Yeah.
We are here to make the organization grow, and if bring new devotees, talk to new people, that should be our motto.
Yeah.
Because we cannot convince people again, same thing again and again, and wasting our energy. So it's good that you told them clearly.
Yeah.
So hope they found that what is our direction.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I also had some session with SSC children and all that. So that was that was nice. Yeah. Okay. So coming back to our study circle. So Billy, what are we doing today?
Yeah, lastly, group 4 elaborated on the topic, conscience is a part of consciousness. So they have finished, I think, about half of it. Okay. So with this, I'd like to call upon Sister Tara.
Yes, brother, I will just complete that question 2 that we are supposed to do. But can you make Girija the co-host, please?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, done, right.
Okay, so this was our topic, group first topic. Conscience is a part of consciousness. And we started off, we did the first question, completed it last week. This was the passage that contained that first question. Maybe we don't need to read it. We've already done it. It's on the YouTube already. So the question was, finally, Swami said, once your conscience is your guru, how do we reflect on the contents of the above message and come to this conclusion? Then we went on in that passage. Swami talks about this conscience, and consciousness. So we elaborated on this. The one you think you are, the one others think you are, and the one you really are. And then we discussed on what is the mind. And then we reached this point where follow the master. So master here is the conscience. And then we had a blurred session when we got the participants to share what they understood from follow the master. And these were the answers that was given. This was all Swami's answers, and a lot of the answers that came from the group of participants also was similar to this. And then we just discussed on this. There are two eyes in everyone, the eye associated with the mind and the eye with the Atma. Consciousness of the Atma is the real eye. And then these were take-home points. So now we came to question 2. Oneness can only be truly experienced from our Atmic self. Hence, from your daily experiences involving body, mind, assess how far or near we are to our Atmic reality. So for this part, this is the second part of that passage we were given. Swami says, for instance, if there is an accident to an aeroplane, one's interest in the fate of the individual passengers is increased if one's kith and kin were traveling on that plane. Otherwise, people are interested to be informed about the details of the accident only, out of curiosity. In the same manner, as long as the Atma is not recognized as your own, your interest in the Atma is concerned with mere information. Once you know that Atma is the self that is present in everyone, the process of transformation takes place. There is only one and nothing else. Unnadi okate anyamu ledu. But as long as the mind and body remain, it is difficult to experience this oneness. Swami tells us it is very difficult to experience this oneness. In spite, however, of the difficulty, everyone must strive to discover the true self. So we had a sharing session, and some of the brothers and sisters in the group all shared their own points on truly anatomic level experiences that they have had. First, Sister Maya gave the example of a time when they were doing seva at a Gurudwara. A sister who was quite evolved, my Sister Maya and another sister and a brother were there doing the seva. There was a lack of the food. They were supposed to pack 2,000 packs and they had only 1,005. So the sister commented that maybe, they didn't calculate properly. And the brother retorted. He was very reactive, and he said, we've always been doing this kind of work. You don't have to say anything over here. So, and Sister Maya was very upset for the sake of the other sister. And she said, she went to console her, and she said, and that sister said, what are you talking about? I didn't even hear what he said. Swami covered my ears, she said. So that in that sense, that sister had been functioning from a conscience level where she has already overcome her senses, and her hearing didn't allow her to get affected by the comments from the brother who was in doing that seva. Then Brother James shared. He shared on how it is not actually even possible to gauge how far or near we are to our own reality. Meditation leads to this awareness. He has, after 20 years of experience in meditation, although unknowing at first, with Swami's contact and understanding the whole nuances of this atmic reality, I feel he has experienced the bliss spoken about. And in some cases, out of the blue, you hear the voice of God telling you, giving you directions. Then Sister Chandrika shared also similar. She said it's not possible to gauge how far or near we are to our own reality. We have to let Swami in, and that is the most important. Swami into our consciousness. How often and how intensely we focus is the most important. Then Sister Purnima shared. She said it's too vast and too overwhelming topic that we could not even speak about. She said, just go along, live according to your conscience, and have no desires, not even for realization. Introspect often, be constantly integrated with Swami's values. The Sister Shamini then shared that she used to feel lost when she reads sayings of Swami, but and when she didn't understand the meaning. Then she spoke to some brothers in a chat group, and was told that you just keep on at it, and slowly the message will unfold to you. And true enough, she says now a lot of these messages have unfolded to her, and it's also helping her to grow as a devotee. And they've also even have had experiences at home, seeing the unity in all. So this was some of the pointers that was given. And then we went to so then this one is just a point that Swami gives. Atma, on the Atma actually. Atma shines equally everywhere and illumines everything without any distinction. If it is the nature of bliss and of consciousness, Chaitanya. So Atma is actually bliss and consciousness. So it is automatically becomes Brahman. What do we understand by this word Brahman? Because last week, the last session we had the topic Brahman and Brahma. Brahman. So, what is Brahma and what is Brahman? So actually this Brahman they're talking about here, it automatically becomes Brahman. Brahman is actually from the root word Brahat, which is big, expansion. That which causes expansion and growth, that is Brahman. So this conviction is the essence of wisdom. One who sees a pot can know that it is a pot clearly by oneself, right? Swami asks. But how is it that one identifies oneself with the body simply because of attachment makes one feel that it is one's own body? This is ignorance, ajnana. The minus the I consciousness. That is actually ignorance. Spiritual wisdom, jnana, which is of the nature of the Atma, is indestructible. Ignorance of the nature of the body is destructible. So destroy that ignorance and go into jnana. That's what Swami says. Swami then gives a good example, a spiritual arithmetic, he calls it, where it's a very simple sum that is given. 3 minus 1 equals 12. So the question is, if 1 is removed from 3, what remains? And even if you ask like a young schoolboy, standard 2 or standard 3, he will tell you 3 minus 1 is 2 for sure. But no, that's not the answer Swami gives. Swami says it is 1. So then if Swami said that, people will say, oh, Swami hasn't gone to school, he doesn't know his maths, right? But that's not the way they're looking. He's looking at it. He says, he gives the example of an object, a mirror, and an image. And from that, you minus the mirror. What do you have left? You have left the object. So, and then Swami teases, and then this is basically the object is the person sitting there, and the mirror she's holding a mirror. And when you minus the mirror, what happens? You just have one object left. And Swami's teasing sentence there is, you, your image, and the mirror. Oh fool, remove the mirror and the image too is gone. Basically, there is no image when there's no mirror. So it's just the object, the person who is left, one is left. So that's where the 3 minus 1 equals 1 comes from. So, and this again, man is a prey to ignorance because forgetting his atmic reality, he identifies himself with the mind-body complex. The waves appearing in an ocean appear as different from each other, but they consist of the same water. Likewise, although man appears in innumerable forms, all these are like the waves appearing on the ocean of Satchitananda, being awareness bliss. Names and forms may be different, but the basis is the same. Here he's also saying it's not just man to man or human to human, it is even with animals and every single thing, rocks, mountains, leaves, trees, whatever, everything has got a bit of the Atma in it. So I'll end with a story of a sculptor. This is a story, it's not a Chinna Kada, Swami told it at another Ramanavami talk. And he said, the goal and pure purpose of human life is to seek unity in all this apparent diversity. Bhagavan communicates this profound truth through a wonderful analogy of a boulder that is sculpted into an idol of Lord Rama. The sculptor finds useless boulder fallen on a mountain. However, the sculptor chisels the boulder and makes it into an idol of Lord Rama. Sculptor transforms the rock fallen on the mountain into an attractive idol. And then the question is, he has transformed the boulder into a beautiful idol of Lord Rama. And the question is, Rama was there in the boulder before. The sculptor only removed the extra fat or the extra pieces neatly. Once the fat is removed, the idol of Rama manifests itself. Therefore, divinity is there in everything. So we install this idol of Lord Rama in a temple and perform worship to it. We call it verily Lord Ramachandra Murti himself. The small pieces of stones from the boulder from which the idol of Rama was made are left back in the forest only to fall into some pit. So in that first picture, you see all those bits that he's chiseling out. Why? Because they have no form. Though they may have not any form, the pieces call out, Tat Tvamasi. That and we are the one and the same. That means the idol and we, the pieces, are one and the same. It is the sculptor who came and separated us. But otherwise, we are one and the same. This is what is referred to in Vedanta as Tatvamasi or Aham Brahmasmi. We are that. However, we are on our own because we on our own, because of our worldly tendencies and attractions, consider ourselves to be different and are dividing ourselves. The defect here lies in the individual and not in the divine power. Wherever you see God is there. So that's why he's saying, even in those pieces of rock, this Rama is latent. We must therefore, without fail, have faith in such divinity. So that's the end of our session. Sai Ram, and thank you.
Sai Ram, sister, thank you. So the group is completed, right? This particular group.
Yeah, this one is completed. Yeah.
So any questions you like to ask, Sister Tara? Actually, I have one. You know,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that 3 minus 1? You see, if you take out that, what is the, you see, we need to understand the implication of what Swami is talking about. So if you take, what do you mean when you say, take out the mirror and then you'll only have the object? So what is this mirror now in the world?
The vision, the apparent diversity is not there. It's a unity that you see. Basically, you're the whole object, just you are remaining there. So that's right. I think that's what he meant.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, this one we can actually contemplate on it, because this actually is the real reason. The subject, object, and the mirror. Mirror is reflecting, and all our actual problems of why we are suffering from the delusion of the world, making us think that we are acting, living, and all that is because of this mirror. As I Baba said, reflection, reaction, resound. So this mirror is the one that is actually mirroring all our vasanas and projecting into the world, and therefore we are acting to the circumstances and the situations according to what the mirror is. Now the question is to remove the mirror. Now first we must need to know how to remove the mirror, number one. Number two, and then enjoy after removing the mirror the object itself. So so this whole process is what the entire life is all about, whatever that we are doing, you see. So there's need for us to really contemplate, because otherwise we will miss the point that what Baba is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Anybody want to comment? Sabitan?
I think
The mirror is Maya, is it?
Good.
Saira?
Yeah.
The mirror is Maya, right? So I suppose we're all striving to remove delusion.
Yeah.
Ignorance.
Mirror is ignorance.
Which
Yeah, ignorance.
Okay. You see, if you know, like if the you see, like words are like if mirror is ignorance. Oh, what do you mean by that? That means what do you mean by this? Is we need to superimpose ignorance. So how is this ignorance separating the object and the subject, object and the image, object and me, subject and subject? Let's me and the object. How is it giving that delusion?
see the mirror it as per our actual word. It's just giving our own different way. What is happening is ignorance. When we see the world, we ourselves in the mirror, what is happening, and that is see, but we don't side also. So that also is one of our ignorance. If we can look inside at who we are actually. So mirror looking outside in the world, we see that we have physical form, we have this ability, we have this power and all those things. We turn inside, we find that there's nothing which is different from anybody. Once this ignorance is removed, I think looking at the mirror and we start, and that's what we realize that we are.
Yeah. You know that prayer that Billy did initially when we started, you know, that process of that prayer is actually removing this mirror also. We look at those words, everything that the words are saying, actually in short, you're saying, oh Lord, remove this mirror. That's what, take my everything, remove this mirror and just make me an instrument to work for thee. Because in the process, the feeling of I and my in the hand, make it work incessantly, make my thoughts be with you, make my soul be with you. Everything you are negating. Finally, these are the constituents of the mirror that gives me a false identity to live in this world, to think that I am this name and I have this profession and I've come for this, and then gives me a pseudo feeling of all my relations and everything else. And then finally, we will be cheated because as life slips by, suddenly we find that we have given everybody and everything time, but we didn't realize what our object was in the first instance. So the mirror removal of the mirror is that intense prayer for those 4 lines, so that the 5 lines, so that finally we realize who we really are.
Sairam, is acquiring wisdom one way to remove the mirror?
Yeah, ultimately, when we do all this sadhana and everything else, is for us to have that wisdom, because that's why Baba said the end of wisdom is freedom. Baba said, end of wisdom is freedom. So when we have ultimately the ultimate wisdom is for us not to be entrapped by the illusions that is imposed and the clutches of the senses. That's why, you see, if you look at the line, Swami said, it is very difficult, but in spite of the fact that you have a body and the mind, then you still have to work at it. So what does the body do to us? The body is just a body. Why it gives us a kind of a notion that it is there. But more importantly, what the body does is through the 5 senses, it continuously gives us the input from the world to make us think that the world is real. And that continues to give us that image. Because in a movie, when you go and watch a movie, and when you're totally involved in the movie, 3 hours passes by, and we cry, we go with the emotions of the hero, because only 2 senses are with us. The movie has got sight and sound. And sight and sound itself, we are already captivated, and we lost time consciousness, and we are identified with the screenplay, dialogue, direction, story, and everything else in the movie. We lost our senses there. Now in this world, 5 senses, not 2. All the other 3 senses also we are grappling. So to fight this, to fight the world, to fight the Maya, and to come out of it is a real sadhana. It's not easy, because it will continue to provide us the mirror in order for us to be deluded. That is the objective. The purpose of illusion is to continuously give us an identity that this is real. That is what illusion does. And it's doing a very, very good job now, because the power of illusion through the technology, the technology is deceiving. That's why Swami said technology is technology. It is deceived us to think that this is real. That's why our young people we look at how many hours we had, mental disorder, all kinds of problems are rising because of the technology. So this technology is what that is making us continuously feel this is a mirror, and we are caught in this mirror world. So if you go into the if you go into the circus, not circus, what is that? The magic mirror, you'll find your face becoming longer, the other side. We act and react to the various reflection of the mirror, which is with us. Swami gave that Chinnagada, where the dog goes into the mirror and they see different types. The dog keeps on barking and to see the funny contortion. So the mirror is reflecting that.
Salam, uncle.
Finish.
Yeah, uncle, just want to share. I think the whole thing is an illusion, like it's Maya. Even the mirror we are looking at every day, our face and our appearance. Then when you go to the office, our position, all this is Maya, like it's temporary, and it doesn't make sense to me, because if I see it in the spiritual context, Swami says that only the Atma is real. The rest, your thoughts, your body, everything is going to perish one day. You're going to die one day. So the ultimate purpose of, I think, our human life, it should be for self-liberation. Why are we born in this planet? Out of how many planets and how many galaxies are there in the universe? It's unknown still. Why are we born here? Only Swami gives the definite answer, that it's for you to reach moksha and find self-liberation.
Yeah.
So I think everything else is a Maya lah. But Maya also, they say, in Buddhism, I've been reading, they say it's Maya is the gatekeeper to the God. That means Maya is finally when you're going to achieve like enlightenment as well, like Lord Buddha, Maya will come in different form and still tempt you, give you temptation, money, money, what is this, whatever your weakness are. Lah.
Yeah.
So Maya, but I want to ask one answer, one question, Uncle, because they say Maya is a form of a god, in Buddhism they call it Mara. Maybe Uncle James can explain. Mara is actually a god that gives you all this temptation and all that. So Uncle James, are you here?
Yeah, Saram. Yeah,
Uncle.
right about it. Yeah, Mara is another form. Yeah, but then is illusion also lah. Just to attract you so that you won't move forward in your spirituality lah. But it's the obstacles lah.
Yeah.
So Mara and Mara is the same. Maya and Mara is the same. But how is it that Mara is a god? It's a gatekeeper to self-enlightenment.
So when Sri Rama walked to the forest, Lakshmana was walking behind, and in between is Sita Devi. So Lakshmana tells Sita, "Can you move your head because I want to see Sri Rama?" So Lakshmana represents Jivatma, Rama represents Paramatma. Jivatma tells Sita Devi, representing, let's say, the Maya Devi, step aside. I want to look at Sri Rama. Rama will get angry. Rama will get upset because Sita is also an intrinsic nature of Rama. See, it's a very powerful analogy that Swami also used in explaining this whole thing. So the trick of the game is, you cannot, while you understand, your wisdom tells you that this is illusion, but we cannot say tomorrow that we don't go to work, we don't have relationship, we don't have anything, all this is illusion. It doesn't work that way. That's why Baba said life is a game. You need to know how to play the game. It's a different. So in having spiritual knowledge does not mean abdication of the responsibilities that we have, nor does it mean that we are freed from doing anything. The having spiritual knowledge simply means that now you understand that the world is but a stage for you to exhaust your vasanas that you accumulated accidentally from the previous life. Number two, do your actions in this world and dedicate it to God. Number three, become completely a hollow flute by which then He plays the music through the flute for the world to hear and see. This is the three processes, and then finally we merge and go. So the whole idea is when we become hollow flute, the mirror is removed now. The illusion, the Mara is filtered out. So it's a process in which, like what Sister Jeannie said, the wisdom helps us to understand and filter the illusion, but we need to live in this world and act accordingly. That is what this whole process is all about. So it's a very, very interesting. You have to live in the world, but with understanding what we are supposed to be doing and what the illusion is all about with our awakened wisdom. That's why in the Gita sessions that we have in Chicago, it's called AWE, Awakening Wisdom Experience. AWE is awe. So we call it awe experience, is that the Gita is telling us to awaken the wisdom experience in us. Desire. Sorry, one point, sister. I just want to finish this. But desire, you cannot live without a desire, I'm telling you, it's very difficult. If you don't have a desire, my God, early morning, get up, what are we supposed to be doing? To live in the world without a desire is very tough. It's not easy. If that being the case, then the Swamijis who have realized the highest divinity in the Himalaya mountain, why on earth they should have just liberated, they should have just gone ahead. Why do they come down in the world and start mission movement, start missionary? How many organizations have formed by those realized masters who have come down? So why does it? Because for you to exist in this world, there must be a thought. There must be a process to think. So I talked to the realized yogi who realized many years. He came down now, he started the movement. You realized you should have gone. He said, no, it's difficult. You have to have. So our thoughts now have to become purer and purer and purer. So we need a hook. So instead of hooking on the material thing and all that, we hook, in this case, we hook on Swami's mission. So Swami, you have come here. Okay, now if you hook on to his mission and continue his work, we in the process are exhausting our vasanas, exhausting our thing, at the same time dedicating ourselves to God and making whatever that our life worthwhile and fruitful are. Like this whole combination comes beautifully well in a spiritual life that we go for.
Sairam, can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, I was a bit confused by the interpretation of Swami's equation. Object mirror image minus mirror equals object. It says nothing because object is still something perceived. But when I looked down, Swami actually said your image and the mirror. I think if you put you instead of object, you take out the mirror, what is left is you. That's what Swami said, isn't it? Then everything that Dr. Suresh has said makes complete sense. Don't you agree?
I took this from Swami's quote, so this is how it is presented in that.
Yeah, but I mean, look at what is being said. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Suresh
It's
may be able
your
to
image and the
say-
mirror, so it should be
more.
removed and only you are left. Is
Yes,
that what you mean?
correct.
Yeah, okay.
Mirror is unreal. From unreal, we have to become real. That is Atma. The real is Atma. So that's what I understood from this.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah. You see, the mirror, like somebody was saying, God is Mara, as Brother James and another gentleman was saying that is also God. Actually, like Radha Krishna, Rama, Sita, it's the same one entity, which in an energy form, what you make in the Vedanta, you may say Prakriti and Purusha. They are one and the same. And that is your mind. If your mind is turned inwards, introspective, then the mirror doesn't come into play at all. There's only you, as somebody just said, only you as the subject. There is no object at all. And there's a very good example of a little bird who comes in front of the mirror and keeps pecking and pecking, thinking there's another person outside, another entity, another duality. So he keeps being, then he finds that the bird doesn't move out. He goes behind, he goes front, all around, and finally he comes and stands in front of the mirror. Still the image is there. So as long as you are in the world, trying to do whatever you want to do, trying to get to that spirituality, if your mind is focused on the outside, then definitely you will see the object and you will probably get addicted to it. So if your mind is turned inwards and the mirror is removed means your mind is removed from that external look, then the introspection will show that there is nothing but you, and that you is the big I or the Atma. And that's what I understand.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, mind, mirror is the mind as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that something 2 days back. I got up around early morning and suddenly I found that I had a bad dream and which didn't let me sleep. So I was thinking, what is this life is about? And then suddenly this thought came that, yes, that dream was unreal. And then I realized that, oh, I'm this bird, I have a house, I have everything, family, everything here. But again, then I thought that the moment when I was sleeping, this bird was not existing. There was something else in my mind which only came when I when I got up halfway through my dream. Then normally every day I sleep and there's no dream. So it means that the world also ceases for me during the night. And then I thought that, is it that I'm living in this world and I will be awakened in another world, which is the enlightenment world, and that will be like a dream or like a sleep, the one I was experiencing in the like this life which I'm leading is a dream of some super soul, which I'm just sleeping here. So suddenly that mind got puzzled and suddenly I was really disturbed and I thought I may not be able to sleep. Then a thought came that I'm not this body, I'm not this world. And that when this thought started coming, slowly that calmness came to my mind that this world is also unreal and I am also unreal here. So why should I worry about this world and the dream world also? So idea is that what I wanted to express is that when these sort of things comes and in the real life also, we from this satsangs and these talks, when the thought comes from within to say that why I'm getting worried is because I'm thinking that this is real, but actually it is not. And when those thought comes, we find that mind becomes calm and we become very tranquil. Because I used to have this feeling when I used to go to this places where the body is being burned. I used to feel that I used to imagine myself that, oh, this all the burners running around and my body will be melting and all those sort of things. But the moment the thought comes that it's the body which is being burnt, it is not me, then that fear used to go. So that knowledge, that awakening of the mind that this world, what we are feeling, the misery, what we are feeling is unreal. It comes only when we start to realize that we are Atma, and just try to feel that we are Atma. So I think the moment these sort of questions comes, we have to get the output from our mind that this is everything temporary, and I'm not this person who is going to face this problem. And that's what it cooled my mind. And after I slept, so I felt very humble that with Swami's teaching, at least I'm able to resolve my own mental distortions by reading his books. So I think whenever these sort of things comes, we should immediately divert our mind towards some of these spiritual inputs we are getting in these satsangs, and I think slowly we'll be able to calm down our agitation. Saira.
One more point I just want to mention. You see, this is a very simple 3 minus 1 equal 1. You know, we must have read it. We must have also seen it in some of the discourses. But what we are doing here actually in the last half an hour, see this one equation we have taken half an hour more. This is actually the process by which we should discuss. It is not about finding an answer. It is about contemplating, because each one has to contemplate and discover its inner meaning with reference to your own experiences, because it's a very contemplative subject. It's only in contemplation that we can find real answers. So it's not that in this satsang, we find, oh, this is like that, oh, like that. Even we say something also, it is just saying, but we need to realize this. So this realization process comes only in the incubation of contemplation. So contemplation is a very important process in spirituality, which is what in meditation, Swami said, concentration, contemplation, meditation. So we don't need to worry about so much of meditation, but if we can lift our mind to contemplate on this, say tomorrow when you're driving to work somewhere, in the mind, at the back of the mind, 3 minus 1 equal to 1. This one is the mirror. So what is then the mirror? How the mirror is showing to me? How am I seeing? So if I'm angry now, what is angry? How is that mirror seen as anger? So if we have that kind of deep, insightful questions, The mirror will become a aha, oh, I see, aha. That aha moment is where we realize. The moment we realize aha, she disappears. That's why the word Maya comes from two words, ma, which is she, ya, who is not there. So the word is she who is not there. So when the student asks teacher, what do you mean by this? If it is she, then you already know it is a she. But who is not there means, how can it be a she? That paradoxical statement is the definition of illusion. Because in illusion, if you aha, the thing disappears. Darkness disappears, light is there. Until it disappears, by the light of the wisdom, it will remain with us, continuously intoxicating us, making us believe, and continuously identifying. So the gateway, as what somebody said, use the word gate, the gateway for that, the key is contemplation. Contemplating upon what the mirror is in our reflective life, in our individual life, daily, in whichever circumstances, will give us the aha moment in which the mirror disappears. Once the mirror disappears, then you find the subject and the object becomes one and the same. The object, I realize who I am. So who is projecting the mirror is also our ego. Our ego projector is projecting making the mirror become real, to reflect who we are, what we are, what is our ambition, aspiration, all these things is the reflection. So it's a very, very powerful line and strong line. This equation actually summarizes the entire purpose of spirituality in a nutshell. It's a very deep subject, and it is not necessary that we find answers to this subject, but the processes that we are doing is a way in helping us to uncover, like onion, peel away the onion so that the inner core, we can realize what we are and who we are. Okay.
Just to say, Swami did mention that spiritual knowledge and worldly knowledge are supreme knowledge. That means we must have the worldly knowledge, also the spiritual knowledge, and that equal to the supreme knowledge. That is something we need to contemplate upon. The other thing is, yeah, we are in the world, it's a Maya, it's illusion. As you said, we need, it's okay to fulfill all the desire, but do not attach to it. Do not attach to it. So I'll give you an example of headmaster. For years, he built up the school. When time for retirement, he just leave everything there. You know, so partly spiritual life is also like that. The world, you build your world here, but when you time for you to go, you must be totally detached. I think this is something we can consider.
Sairam, long ago, I learned that there is actually no Maya, because Maya is something that our mind creates. Just like, seeing the rope as a snake. If we have a clear mind, a spiritual mind, then Maya does not exist for us. There will be no Maya making us to believe what is not true or not there. Is that correct?
This is why our prayer, you see, every time the bhajan finishes off, it says, Asatoma, Sat Ghamaya, Tamasoma, Jhodir Gamaya, Mrityo, Ma Amardam Gamaya. So from the unreal, lead me to the real, from darkness, lead. So every day, when we have moved from darkness to light, tomorrow's light will be day after tomorrow's darkness. So it is only, we are moving from relative truth to truth, relative truth to truth. So Adi Shankara was walking along, and he's the highest Vedanta philosopher in the highest consciousness. Suddenly he remembered that Chandala came in front of him and asked him to move. And he said, what should move, body or the spirit? Then only through the third eye, he saw that Lord Shiva himself has come to correct. So why is that so? It's because when we are, what is important is, when we are moving higher and higher and higher up in our consciousness, the examination is going to become subtler and subtler and subtler, because it's not going to be gross. This is what, when I was telling in Canada, I was telling them that, see, the examination now is not in the question of whether we'll rob, rape, murder. We won't do that. None of us will go there. And we know it's wrong. Then when when we come to working place, certain things, we know some things are not right or not wrong. Our examination is becoming subtler and subtler. And now if you look at it, now if you look at the current crisis, the organization, the examination has become even subtler. Okay, you got this, you got that. Okay, how in this situation, how will you think? How will we act? So the material world is actually the examination. You know, it's the nice way of relating both material world and spiritual world is, in the material world that we live in decisions that we have to make, in choices that we have to do, is the examination paper. We are in the examination hall. The spirituality is the answer that you write in the examination paper. With what spiritual values, with what spiritual consciousness, with what spiritual wisdom will you answer those questions is the point. This is where spirituality and materialism merges in the examination hall. In this examination hall, you cannot copy other examination paper. Why? Because every examination paper is different. Because every individual is different. Each one has got his own examination paper. So in our life, we cannot copy left, we cannot copy right. Our choice, our chance is only to keep improving ourselves. That's all. Because when we keep on improving ourselves, we keep on bettering, creating better versions of ourselves all the time. How do we do that? By Ganesha. What is that? Buddhi. So when we have the Buddhi Shakti, that's why Gayatri Mantra, may the effulgence of the Atma illuminate my intellect. For what? Why should your Atma illuminate my intellect? For what purposes is that? Because Buddhi is the final thing that is going to discriminate, is going to see which is subtler, which is the most truth, which is the higher truth. See, that Buddhi is going to guide us. So when we go to become more and more spiritual, the intellect, the intelligence becomes sharper, more critical, more thing. Why? Because as I said, 8 lanes will become 6 lanes, 6 lane will become 4, 4 will become 2, 2 will become 1, that 1 lane will become slippery, will become slopey, and then suddenly you'll find that you are walking only on a rope, and then the rope eventually will become a string, and you need to know how to balance on the string to cross the other side. So our area of expertise is going to become more and more refined as time goes by. That's how the object, how we will slowly make, then finally the string is gone, nothing is there, the object has merged with the subject. So I and he becomes one and the same, and this is the real meaning of the word. Ayam Atma Brahma, Tattvam Hasi, Prajnanam Brahma. All these Vedic declarations, we experience that when the mirror is taken away. This is the entire scheme of the events. So we can't do this ourselves. Why? Because we are weak. Why? Because we have a mind. The moment we have a mind, it's weak. So what do? We now need a mastermind. So the mastermind comes in the form of the guru to guide and slowly make the mind to become mind. Once we become mind, we transcend the whole system and merge to the river, then knows how to reach the ocean. So this is the whole scheme, this is the whole process. So what we have just done in this simple equation is processes revealing different people's perception, and everybody is right in their own sense of the word, but we need to take what we can take and see it in the right perspective of what the subject matter is, and then keep on contemplating it. Why? Because the knowledge glimpses that we have today will be tomorrow's. You will find, my God, yesterday I had this thought, this is not right. Tomorrow that it is our own conclusions that we form from our understanding from our consciousness. Okay. And so now, Taras, next,
Yeah. So,
next slide.
Next slide.
No, after this, you did something else. The sculpture. The sculpture. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, we define. Now the object is with us. Now that means now the mirror has given us the thing. So now we need to take away the unwanted, so that the desired thing can come out. Every statue is from a stone, that we take away the unwanted aspects, and then we come out like that. Okay. But you see, the beauty of the sculpture is one thing, what is it? He's doing it. But Swami said, without a guru, what is the difference between guru and guri? Swami said, with a guru is only relevant if a man has got a guri. If your driving teacher is relevant, if you are interested to drive. A swimming teacher is relevant because you need to swim. Now the sculpturer is sculpturing, but he's sculpturing. Why? Because in his mind, he already got a vision of the guri. What is he planning to do? So when he has the vision of the guri, it takes away the unwanted stone, unwanted aspects, and the thing is developed there. So most important thing before we develop, first in our mind, we must have a goal. We must have a vision. So this is a clear indicator of a sculptor who starts his work, vision in his mind. This vision is a very critical thing, that whatever that we are doing in our activities that we are doing, close your eyes, you open your eyes, 5 years from now, what are we wanting? How many people we want? What are the things that we want to achieve? You must have a clear vision and then work towards that vision. The statue comes out very clearly like that. Guri.
Is group 2 starting today, or it's only 15 minutes to go?
Yeah.
I think they start next week.
Yeah. Anybody else can comment, because this is a very, very important realization aspect of
So
it.
the story that was given is even the bits of stone that's falling off, all of it contain divinity in it.
Yeah.
It's not just the bits that become the idol, it's also
the things also.
latent in the bits of rock.
Yeah, another thing is which I feel that the sculptures have the desire to take out though he has a picture, but a lot of people have the picture, but they don't work towards it.
Yeah.
They don't remove the unwanted stuff, and for that there's a willpower, and there's a motive behind which drives them. So that is also very important, because see, we are in this satsang because we have the willpower, we like it. There's a lot of people whom we tell, but still, in spite of telling, they don't have the willpower, or they don't have the attraction towards it. So this is also, which I feel is a God's grace which acts on us, that we are coming and listening and we are interested.
Yeah.
This is also very important in our spiritual growth.
No, very important point. Actually, Brother Manoj made a point, because perseverance and endurance is a very critical component towards making sure. See, Swami himself said, man is God. Finish, full stop, period. The subject is already under one signature point, man is God. My job is, I know I'm God. My job is to make you realize you're God. So my job is to make you realize you're divine. You're divine means you are Atma. But now you cannot realize you're divine because you've got to go through 3 processes. What is that? Physical, mental, intellectual. 3 processes. 3 of them have given you an identity. So if you want to reach the Atma, you have to go through these 3. But if you continue living in these 3, you will never realize the Atma. So now I must have a goal. What is the goal? I must realize Atma. Baba said in Satya Sai speaks clearly, Baba said, worshipping Atma is the true worship. Failure in understanding that Atma is the real reason why man is losing to become divine. Failing to realize that one is Atma, one has got Atma, or worshipping Atma is the highest worship. Baba said that in Satya Sai speaks. So what does that mean? That means to say that at the end of the day, this is what our goal is. We can have many things. And Baba said, why is man the crown of creation? There's only one reason, not because he's intelligent, not because he's master of all the subjects. There's only one reason why you are considered the crown of creation compared to all the, how many, 8.4 million species, 2.1 million species are born from eggs, 2.1 million species are born from mother's womb, 2.1 million species are bacteria and viruses, and 2.1 million are the what do you call this plants and all the aquatic plants that are living in the world. So altogether 8.4 million species, and out of that we are belonging to the Pindaja group. Pindaja means 2.1 million, and out of that we have got how many billion people? 8 billion people. Out of that 8 billion people, how many would have acquired? How many have know that God exists? How many see, we are actually, to be honest, very, very few selected people, contemporaries of the God, contemporaries of Avatar, like that. So in other words, we should take serious advantage of this proximity and understanding and really work out the solution, but that man is equal to God. So we have to realize who we are. So how? By sculpturing what we are not, so that we can become what we should be. So this sculpturing is a very important process in order to create better versions of ourselves. So who will do this for us? Who will do this? It's not one person who's going to sculpture. Who will do? The divine people who? In the Sai Center, in Sai organization, working with people, everybody becomes a sculptor to chisel out the unwanted things in somebody else's life. So so we must become guided by. Nowadays, young people, they are so temperamental. A little bit you say also, they become very skeptical. They become very sensitive. So with so sensitivity, how will sculpturing take place? Cannot. You have to offer ourselves directly to people and allow them to sculpture us to get better versions of ourselves. So this is the reason why Swami said, whatever happens, never leave the organization. You see, powerful bound. He quickly firewalled us, man. He quickly, Swami put us in a firewall, put our fence around. You got angry with devotees. Something happened. Harmonium did not come through. Bhajan singer, something happened. He said, firewalled it immediately. Never, whatever happens, never leave my organization. Swami said that. What does it mean? It means that it is in this organization, through the presence of different people, through the presence of working together, we find sometimes discomfort or displeasure. How do we continue living with the same people, destroying the enmity, overcoming oneness, establishing oneness and achieving the highest? That this whole process that Baba created is for us to sculpture, continue sculpturing to create better versions of ourselves. Why? Ultimately, we are supposed to be God. Can you imagine? Muhammad Ali said, when he was fighting George Foreman in Zaire in Africa, and he kept on dancing on the stage, butterfly, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Muhammad Ali said, I'm not great. Muhammad Ali said, I'm not greater. I'm not greater. I'm the greatest. The title of his biography was, I am the greatest. Swami didn't tell us you are great. Swami never told us you become greater. Swami never said you become the greatest. Swami said you are God. You are God. Can you imagine? What else is? There's never been a statement, you are the pinnacle. You are God. Ayyo, amazing. Now, how do you achieve that status? That is what. In the Upanishad, what is the purpose of achieving God? Achieving the purpose of God is to achieve what? The highest state of experience. And what is that? Quintillon, what is that? 10 to the power of 18, the bliss. 10 to the power of 18 bliss. So by achieving God consciousness, I'm supposed to achieve the highest stage of bliss. Animals cannot achieve it. I can achieve it. So if I can achieve it, wow. So this is what I must achieve. So this sculpturing process is to achieve the highest stage of bliss in our life. This, if we can achieve in our life, we have come to conquer what we have come to gain from this world that we are living in. That is what spiritual life is supposed to be. That is why spiritual life is the highest vocation for anything.
Saram, can we have Sabitan opinion?
Yes, Sabitan.
Sabitan, can share, please.
Sabitan.
Yeah. Sairab. Specifically about what, Brother James? Is it about the desires or?
No, whatever, brother, what we have discussed, what was when you're going through all this process, what is something that you like to share with us, or something that it's good to share?
Yeah, I think so far what everyone has mentioned, it's very impactful and very nice to hear. But sometimes I think that the most difficult part for us is we don't know where to start, and Suresh and I mentioned just now that start from the center. And I just like to share one experience. While before this, I was working in Sabah from 2013 onwards. So I had no contact with even though I I mean, I prayed to Swami and all that, but I went to the Sai Center maybe once, and then subsequently I didn't go after. So I completely lost track of the being in Sai organization and even attending bhajans, and I didn't get the benefits from that, you know. And then from Sabah I moved to Labuan, so a complete 6 years I was away from the organizational work and everything, and so life wasn't that great, and a lot of there wasn't a lot of positive changes in my life, and it's not. I would say there were very, very dark moments during those periods, and then I got a scholarship and I came to Peninsula, and once I'm in Peninsula, and even then I was in Johor for quite a long time, and I wasn't affiliated with the center. I didn't go for bhajans and all that until the Muasai convention took place. And then during the Muasai convention, and that was when Auntie Nalini approached me and asked me, do you mind being the MC? And after that, I got to know about the Tamanu Center, and I started to join them. Started going for weekly bhajan. This happened in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. And during we usually have a New Year celebration, 2024 New Year celebration. And then they ask, the center chairman asked all of us one question, what is the best thing which happened for you last year, and they were all under the impression that we went to Sri Lanka and we did, some wonderful project there in Sri Lanka, and that would have been my best experience throughout the year. But when I reflected, the best experience I had was making the decision to actually join the center activities and be present in the center and participate for the weekly bhajans and everything. Because just like Suresh and I mentioned just now, Swami really chisels out things using the people in the center, and I don't know whether you will believe this or not. I've never spoken about this even to Brother James or anyone, but through Brother James, through so many of you, Swami has indicated so many things for me to improve within myself, and that's the main reason I feel what Suresh and I mentioned just now just adds so much of value. And the organization shouldn't just be used as an organization, no, but it's like a yantra. All these yogis, they use yantra. It's like a tool, or mantra, like a tool for them to achieve spiritual enlightenment, or to uplift themselves spiritually. But for us, we have like the best ever yantra and mantra, which is the organization itself. And through the organization, our Swami will ensure he polishes us and cuts us, and so that we all end up being this diamond, no, Kohinoor diamond, which he often praises about. So that's what I wanted to share, Sairam.
Thank you, Sapitan.
Thank you, Sapitan. So we got another exactly 4 minutes more. Anybody else want to make a comment?
I think better you share something from US. That will be good.
No, Brother Manoj, I want to say one more thing. See, if you remember October 23rd, what is it? Avatar Declaration.
Yeah, Avatar Declaration.
Yeah. So we wanted to organize, remember we said that,
yes.
Yeah, we wanted to have a zonal spiritual thing. And I thought brothers and sisters here who have actually had this much of experiences and talks should actually have a very big spiritual experience, so that we trigger more and more people to participate. So we should have maybe we can do it on a Sunday morning, 10 o'clock or something like that. And then, each person that experience, somebody can MC this. We should do this, because so much learning, you see, so many people here, so many wise people, they should pick up for all the scriptures that we have read. Okay, which lines are the most applicable, which are the most profound, and then what did they learn and how have they changed? That's all, 5 minutes. And then you have about 12 people or 10 or 12 people. Each group, there are 4 people. Every group, 4 people. We have about 4 times 4, 16 people. Each 5 minutes will be
18
one.
minutes.
That's nice.
1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can ask people to.
Yeah.
I mean, out of these 4-5 years of satsang, what is the best experience they had? They can just narrate it with the name. My name is so and so.
Yeah.
And
what do you all
I
think?
have experience.
What do others think?
Suresh, it's a good idea, but I think probably we can consider this. We have been talking about having real satsang, you know. So probably, you know, maybe you can organize one with Sapitan or something like that. Maybe just a 2-day, 1-night retreat at Fraser Hill, or even at the place where our people do the silent sitting among ourselves and also open to others. So of course, you need your planning lah, how to have the best of 2-day, 1-night.
You know,
and we actually meet each other rather than talking through here, Sairam.
That's really difficult because different countries people are there. So what we are planning that for the Avatar Day, we can have an online session, online recording session of this, our experiences, so that what it will be like a zonal program which will be broadcasted.
Yeah. But we also
around the zone.
Yeah, brother. But we can incorporate James' idea within the framework of the zonal retreat that you're planning, right? We can do it in April, March, May, or something. Remember the zonal?
Yeah, we can.
For the World
Actually, next year will be very hectic because we'll be trying to organize the zonal this thing also conference. Maybe still, I think that this is I come to because in the Indonesia last meeting, I suppose I told Indonesia to do it, but again they came back to me saying that they still cannot hold it.
Oh, they can't.
Go
Then
to Malaysia. So
yeah, then looks like Malaysia has to do it now.
Yeah, so maybe we have to select a date when we are trying to, and which place, because I'm thinking that the area where our presence is very less and where devotees are, not very strong, we should have it in those areas, not in the popular areas, like the way we had it in Jaffna.
Yeah.
We had a very good experience of new devotees joining, new people learning about Swami, and really it has created a lot of enthusiasm in the people. So we have to sit down and talk to people and see where we can have it.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
So that will, I think, the preparation should start slowly, and we can have these sort of topics also on the best selected transformation. We can show it during that conference.
Yeah. What I like about this, what I like about the satsang is that everybody is willingly sharing, and at the same time, giving insight. So everybody's learning, everybody's insight is very powerful, and this helps us to see things in different perspectives also.
Yeah, like this happened like when you go for bhajan, attend bhajan. I mean, normally you learn only one bhajan, but you sit for 1 hour and you hear so many bhajans and repeated every week. So many bhajans you by heart, you know.
Yeah.
So this is what the satsang is. Somebody else contemplation and those thoughts. Suddenly you can take the input from there. Like for me in the dream that those things happen, it's something from that word came, says, why I'm so worried about my life. I'm Atma, so why do I have to worry about this life, that life? So these sort of thoughts will certainly give us a clue.
Yeah.
Like your story, I heard that when you were trying to do the thesis, PhD, and in Singapore, and that you wanted to go for a movie, and then suddenly a thought came that I must go to the library and get the journal.
Yeah, right.
So this is how Swami guides you.
Yeah.
To get these ideas.
Yeah. Anyway,
we'll work on it.
Yeah, we'll work on it. Yeah, we also have to think about that zonal thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so dear brothers and sisters, very nice. We had a very inspiring session today. Just on that one equation, my God, we can go. Just on that one equation, just putting that one equation and getting different people to talk about it. That itself is a conference. Can you imagine? That's still a conference, because you see, the whole idea is not to talk about 100 things, but to talk about the 100 aspects of the one thing. That is what depth is all about. Anyway, with these few words, we'll meet again next week for sure. Till we meet again, Saira.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Saram, thank you everyone.
Sai Ram, thank you.
Sairam.
Thank you.
Ram, thank you.